In the sun-baked, dusty town of Millersford, everyone knew the river. It wasn't just a body of water, it was a living legend, a heartbeat of the community. Every morning and evening, women from all corners of the town traipsed down to the riverbank to fill their clay pots with the cool, life-giving water. It was an ancient ritual passed down for generations, a ritual wrapped in stories, superstitions, and, most importantly, warnings. The river's cursed, old Mrs. Carmichael told anyone who'd listen, her voice trembling like a brittle leaf. A spirit lives in those waters. Not a ghost that cries or haunts, but a horny evil spirit. It only appears to beautiful young girls, virgins or those thought to be virgins. It's looking for prey. Angela, 23 years old and fiercely defiant, heard these warnings daily. But she laughed them off, usually loud enough to make the old women scowl and mutter about disrespect. Angela was a tempest wrapped in wild curly hair, with eyes that burned like the midday sun and a temper sharper than a rattlesnake's bite. Superstitions and ghost stories were for scared little children, and Angela wasn't one of them. That evening, as the sky turned a bruised purple, Angela strode down to the river's edge. She had a stubborn streak a mile wide, and tonight, she was determined to prove those old crones wrong. Her clay pot dangled from her hand, fingers curling around the worn handle. The river shimmered, the surface alive with a soft ripple. A strange chill tickled the back of her neck. Just water. Nothing more, she muttered, squinting suspiciously at the dark waves. She knelt, dipping the pot into the river. The cool water lapped at her skin, soothing and real. Then, from the corner of her eye, she saw it, a shadow slipping out from beneath the surface. She froze. A figure emerged, half in water, half in air, shifting between the worlds like smoke. The man was impossibly handsome, like a vision pulled from a fever dream. His hair was black as midnight, dripping with river water, and his eyes glowed with a fiery orange that pierced the fading light. Angela's heart pounded, not with fear, but with fiery defiance. She squared her shoulders and smiled, though her lips trembled. "Come on then, spirit," she said, voice loud enough to echo across the silent water. "If you're looking for a virgin or an angel, you've got the wrong girl." The spirit's grin was wicked, a smile that didn't reach his glowing eyes. "I seek purity," he whispered, voice silky and dark like river mud. "And you, Angela, are as pure as the river is deep, or so they say." Angela scoffed, folding her arms. "Pure? Don't flatter yourself. I'm no angel. I'm a hurricane in a bottle, and I don't bow to anyone, not even a horny spirit lurking in some old river." The spirit's laugh was low, almost amused. "You have spirit. I like that. But spirit alone will not save you." Angela's laugh cracked like a whip. "Save me? From what?" "From you." The spirit's smile deepened. "From what I will do to those who think they can defy me." The wind died down to a hush. The ripples stopped moving. Angela's grin faltered for a moment. "Bring it on," she said, though inside, a flicker of doubt stirred. The river held its breath. The spirit was patient, a predator waiting to strike, his hunger ancient and endless. Angela's fight for her town, for her life, and for her soul was just beginning. Angela didn't sleep that night. The river's eerie glow and the spirit's fiery eyes haunted her mind. She kept turning over the moment she faced the creature, the way his voice slithered through the air like smoke and promises, mostly the bad kind. But if the spirit wanted a game, then by all means, she was ready to play. Morning came with a heavy fog settling over Millersford, wrapping the town in a ghostly blanket. Word traveled fast, as it always did in places where everyone's business was the only business. The river had claimed its latest victim, or so the gossipers whispered. A young girl had vanished near the water the night before, leaving behind only a toppled clay pot. Angela's jaw tightened when she heard the whispers. They thought she was next. She heard their prayers, their silent hopes that she'd stay far away from the cursed river. But Angela was nothing if not stubborn. If the spirit wanted a battle, she'd give it hell. At the market square, Angela gathered a motley crew of friends: Lena, a fiery Latina with a mouth as sharp as her wit; Jamal, an African-American guy who was quick with his fists and even quicker with his jokes; and May, a Chinese-American woman who could hack just about anything and wasn't afraid to stand toe-to-toe with a spirit, if needed. "I'm telling you," Lena said, shaking her head as she handed Angela a homemade charm. "That spirit doesn't just want virgins. He wants power. And he's pissed we're not scared." "Power?" Jamal laughed, cracking his knuckles. "Sounds like someone's got a big ego and a small dick." May raised an eyebrow. "Or maybe it's more complicated. Spirits don't just mess around for fun. There's always a reason." Angela grinned. "Well, whatever his reason, he picked the wrong girl." The four of them made a plan: to watch the river at night, to catch the spirit in his own game and maybe figure out how to stop him. They rigged cameras, May's idea, and set up makeshift traps. No one wanted to be the next whispered name in the river's dark ledger. That night, under a moon that looked like it was about to burst into flames, Angela and her friends waited by the water's edge. The air was thick with tension, punctuated by the occasional hoot of an owl or the rustle of dry leaves. Angela's heart hammered in her chest, equal parts fear and adrenaline. Suddenly, the water stirred. The spirit emerged, his form shimmering between water and man, eyes burning brighter than ever. His voice was a low growl, filled with mockery and menace. "You think you can trap me? Watch me. I am the river's wrath, the hunger beneath the surface." Angela stepped forward, her voice steady. "You're nothing but a horny nuisance. You prey on girls to feed your own pathetic thirst. But I'm not afraid." The spirit's laugh was cruel. "Not afraid? You haven't seen what I do to those who resist." Before anyone could react, the spirit moved like lightning. Lena screamed as a cold hand reached for her wrist. Jamal lunged, but the spirit vanished beneath the water, leaving behind only a ripple and the echo of laughter. Angela felt the weight of the moment. This wasn't just some ghost story anymore. This was a war. Back at her apartment, Angela's resolve hardened. She wasn't just fighting for herself anymore, she was fighting for every girl who dared to draw water from the river without fear. She pulled out an old, dusty book May had found in the town's forgotten library, one that spoke of spirits, curses, and rituals long buried under time and superstition. "If I'm going to beat this thing," Angela muttered, "I'm going to have to fight fire with fire." Her fingers traced the worn pages as she read about ancient water spirits, their weaknesses, and the brutal bargains they demanded. Meanwhile, the town buzzed with panic and rumors. The mayor threatened to close the river for good, sparking outrage and economic turmoil. For Millersford, the river was life and death. Angela's friends rallied around her, bringing strength and humor to the dark days. Jamal's jokes, even when poorly timed, kept spirits up. Lena's fiery attitude refused to let fear take hold. May's tech skills uncovered clues hidden in old town records, unearthing secrets long buried. One thing was clear: the spirit was no ordinary ghost. He was cunning, jealous, and deeply angry. He hated that the girls laughed at him, defied him, and dared to live beyond his twisted hunger. Angela found herself caught between fury and fascination. She hated this spirit with every fiber of her being, but a small, reckless part of her wanted to understand him. What made him so damn horny? So full of vengeance? What had twisted his soul to this point? Her anger fueled her determination. She would find his weakness, expose his secrets, and make him regret ever coming to Millersford. But the spirit had other plans. Late one night, Angela received a message on her phone. No sender, just a chilling text. "Your fire is bright, Angela. But fire burns everything, even those who hold the flame." Her blood ran cold. The battle was only beginning. Angela looked at the message on her phone. Her hands shook. It said, "Your fire burns bright, Angela. But fire burns everything, even those who hold it." Someone, or something, knew how to scare her. But Angela was not afraid. She would not run away. The next day, everyone in town talked about the Horny River Spirit. At the store, at the cafe, and everywhere, people whispered about it. Some laughed nervously. Others were really scared. They said girls saw the spirit's eyes in the water. His eyes were full of anger and desire. Angela's friends looked up to her now. Some girls smiled at her quietly. But some people said she was crazy. That night, Angela met her friends at May's small apartment. On the walls were papers with old maps, drawings, and notes connected with red strings. They had been looking for the truth about the river spirit. There is a pattern, May said, pushing her glasses up. The spirit comes only to girls who are virgins, or who people think are virgins. The spirit is part of an old curse on the river. Lena rolled her eyes. Of course, nothing in this town is simple. Jamal laughed but then got serious. So the spirit is like an angry debt collector, taking what he thinks he is owed from these girls. Angela nodded. Yes. And we have to stop it. They planned to go to the river at midnight. They took salt, charms, and other things May said might help. Angela felt scared as they walked to the dark river under the moonlight. Suddenly, a soft voice came from the water. It was both sweet and scary. Angela, why do you fight me? You know the truth. I only take what is owed. Angela stepped forward and held up a silver charm shaped like a broken heart. No debt makes your madness okay. The spirit appeared, water swirling around him. His eyes burned like fire. I am the river. I am the hunger inside you. His voice was deep and mocking. I can give release or pain. Jamal whispered behind her, be careful. Don't trust him. Angela stared the spirit down. You're not a god. You are a parasite. The spirit shouted and threw cold water at them. They fell back, slipping in the mud, but Angela stood strong. The spirit's form changed and looked darker, more scary. You will pay. The river's thirst never ends. As he jumped forward, Lena shouted, salt. Now. May threw salt into the water. The spirit screamed and moved away. Then the spirit looked at Angela's charm. For a moment, his eyes looked soft, not angry. Angela took her chance. Tell me your story. Why are you cursed? The spirit stopped and his voice shook. I was once human, punished for a crime I did not do. Now I am trapped in the river, feeding on innocence to live. Angela felt a strange feeling, pity. Then we will end this, she said. Not with fear or hate, but with truth. The spirit's anger went away. He looked sad. Break the curse, and free me. Angela looked at her friends. They all agreed. Together, they would find a way to stop the spirit and save their town. But Angela knew something. To do that, she had to fight the darkness inside herself too. Angela didn't sleep that night. Neither did Ngozi. The two of them sat in silence on the bamboo mat in Angela's tiny room, both still shaking from the encounter by the river. Ngozi broke the silence first. He smelled like boiled yam. Rotten boiled yam. Angela didn't laugh. He threatened you, Ngozi. He looked you in the eye and said you weren't good enough. Honestly, Ngozi muttered, that part hurt more than anything. Is it because I wear glasses? Spirits don't like women with vision? Angela stood and began pacing. This isn't just about you or me. That spirit has been preying on girls for years. And nobody has done anything. Ngozi blinked. Angela, are you saying what I think you're saying? I'm saying we're going to trap him. Ngozi's jaw dropped. With what? Rat glue and church hymns? Angela shook her head, her eyes now wild with a plan forming. He only goes after young women who are believed to be virgins, right? He thinks we're weak. He thinks we don't fight back. We'll prove him wrong. By the next day, Angela had a full plan. Step 1. Research. She borrowed dusty books from the priest at the old mission house, pretending she wanted to start a Bible study. In reality, she was digging through ancient local legends and finding every scrap of story about the river spirit. Step 2. Recruitment. She gathered 4 other girls from the village, each one bold, angry, and tired of being scared. Ngozi called them the Holy Avengers, which no one liked, but the name stuck anyway. There was Ruth, a quiet girl with a stare that could kill a man and make his spirit apologize. Halima, a Muslim girl with a sharp tongue and zero tolerance for foolishness. Ifioma, the joker, who kept spirits and humans confused with her unpredictable behavior. Zainab, the only one with a family history of witches, proud of it. Together, they trained. Not in kung fu or karate. This was Oduku. They trained in spirit baiting. They practiced walking slowly through the river path at night, pretending to be lost or vulnerable. They rehearsed throwing consecrated salt and reciting rude prayers. Ngozi even designed homemade virgin armor, using cooking pots and mosquito nets. Everyone ignored her. One evening, while the moon was full and the frogs sang their swamp opera, Angela stood at the edge of the river in a flowing white dress. She looked like a dream, and that was the plan. Behind the bushes, the other girls waited with mirrors, salt, a loudspeaker, and raw pepper. Ngozi held a Bible like it was a gun. Angela stepped into the water. "Come out," she whispered. "I'm ready." The water rippled. He came. Rising slow, elegant, and confident, the spirit appeared once again. But this time, he looked different. He wasn't glowing as much. His charm felt thinner, like someone wearing a mask too many times. "You returned," he said. "You know you belong to me." Angela smiled sweetly. "Maybe I changed my mind." He moved closer. "I could make you feel joy, fire, eternity." Angela blinked. "Funny. So could Suya." Suddenly she yelled, "Now." From the bushes, Ngozi hit play on the loudspeaker. Gospel music blasted. The others leapt out like warrior chickens. Ruth threw pepper. Ifioma screamed a fake prophecy. Halima tossed blessed water from a Coke bottle. Zainab held up a mirror, chanting, "You see yourself now? You see." The spirit screamed, a horrible sound, like a drunk goat stepping on a nail. Smoke rose from his body. Angela shouted, "You don't control us." He vanished. Gone. The river stilled. The girls stood in stunned silence. Then Ngozi said, "Wait, did we just beat a horny demon with kitchen supplies and attitude?" Angela smiled, breathing hard. Yes, we did." The others cheered, laughed, hugged. Ruth even did a small dance, and nobody stopped her. But Angela didn't celebrate for long. She looked at the river. Something told her it wasn't over. Because evil like that doesn't disappear forever. It retreats. It regroups. And it waits. The next morning, the girls woke up feeling like legends. Zainab walked through the village with her chin high. "We burned a demon yesterday," she told anyone who would listen. "With nothing but pepper and vibes." Ifioma told 3 different people she had looked the spirit in the eye and slapped his soul. The story grew more ridiculous with every retelling. By noon she was saying she rode him like a motorcycle and baptized him with hot tea. Angela, though, kept quiet. She felt tough, like something was watching her. Something that didn't accept defeat. By afternoon, drama entered with both feet. The village pastor, Pastor Timothy, arrived at her home, sweating and angry, holding a Bible like a hammer. He didn't knock. He kicked the door open like a Nollywood actor. "You think you can play with spirits?" Angela was in her wrapper, eating boiled yam. She blinked. "Good afternoon, sir." Pastor Timothy pointed. "I heard what you girls did. You marched into the river like market women on a mission and attacked a spirit. You challenged powers you don't understand." Ngozi, sitting on the floor with groundnut in her mouth, muttered, "Actually, we understood him very well. He was horny." The pastor shouted louder. "You girls will bring curse on this land." Halima walked in holding a broom. "Then let the curse sweep the compound." "We're not scared." Pastor Timothy gasped. "Witches. All of you. And you, Angela, you led them. You're the root of this evil." Angela stood. "Pastor, that evil has been haunting girls for years and nobody, including you, did anything. I prayed. You prayed while he was touching girls at the river." The room fell silent. Even the flies paused in the air. Pastor Timothy looked shaken. For once, he had no words. Then he hissed like a snake in a Nigerian movie, turned, and left dramatically, slamming the door hard enough to wake the ancestors. By evening, the whole village was buzzing. Rumors were flying like mosquitoes after rain. Some said Angela was pregnant with a spirit child. Others said she'd married the demon spiritually and would give birth to fish. One rumor claimed she had become a goddess and now slept upside down like a bat. Angela just sat under the mango tree, exhausted. Zainab joined her. You look like you just fought 10 demons. Angela groaned. I feel like one of them lives inside my left eyebrow. You okay? I don't know. She looked at the river in the distance. Something inside her whispered, he's not done. That night, Angela had a dream. She stood by the river, alone. The spirit was there, different this time. His glow was brighter. His voice smoother. More dangerous. You embarrassed me, he said. Angela didn't flinch. You deserved worse. I was chosen by your ancestors. I protect this land. You should be grateful. You protect nothing. You're a predator with perfume. The spirit laughed. You think this is over? Little girl, you've only lit the fire. Now it burns. He disappeared. Angela woke up sweating, her hands trembling. And that's when the screams started. From the neighbor's house. From the next compound. Women were running out of their homes, some dragging daughters, others shouting names. One mother collapsed in the dirt, wailing, she's gone. My Ada is gone. Angela ran out. It was true. Girls were missing. 5 of them. All last seen, walking near the river. Angela looked at the moon. It was full again. Ngozi appeared behind her, panting. Ifeoma's cousin is one of the girls. And, Angela, this isn't ordinary. Something is wrong. Angela nodded slowly. This spirit isn't playing anymore. He's angry. And now, he wants revenge. Zainab joined them, carrying her grandmother's old ritual stick. No more hiding, she said. It's time we take the fight to him. Angela looked at her friends, these brave, stubborn, reckless girls, and felt something rise in her chest. Not fear. Not doubt. But fire. We're going back to the river, she said, voice steady. Halima cracked her knuckles. And this time, we're bringing hell with us. Angela needed help. The spirit was getting bolder, and she was tired of being afraid. So she went to Father Clement, the village priest known for fighting spirits and healing the possessed. She found him in the church, polishing the altar, humming hymns. Father, I need your help. Father Clement turned. Angela, my child, what's troubling you? She told him everything, the river, the spirit, the dreams. His face remained calm until she finished. This is serious, he said. Can you cast it out? He hesitated. I'll pray with you. But spirits like this, they don't just attach to people. They follow bloodlines. Family sins. Angela frowned. What are you saying? Your family may have opened a door in the past. We must search deeper. She nodded. I'll do anything. But come back tonight, after prayers. We'll begin. That night, Angela returned to the church. It was quiet, dark except for the flickering candles. Father Clement welcomed her warmly. Let's begin the cleansing, he said. He handed her a white cloth. Change into this. Purity is key. Angela hesitated but obeyed. She stepped behind a curtain and changed. When she returned, the priest's eyes lingered too long. He began the prayers. At first, everything felt normal. Incense, chants, oil on her forehead. But then his hands wandered. Angela's eyes flew open. What are you doing? It's part of the ritual, he said too calmly. She stepped back. You're lying. Father Clement's face twisted. You think you're better? You parade your body like a gift, then act shocked. Angela felt sick. You're just like that spirit. He laughed. Maybe that's why it chose you. Angela turned and ran. Out of the church, into the street, her bare feet hitting the dirt. Another man had tried to use her. This one wore a collar. She stopped running once she reached her house. Her body was shaking, but her heart was cold now. The spirit had awakened something dark. But maybe, just maybe, she needed it to fight back. After escaping from the priest, Angela stopped trusting anyone easily. She avoided the church, ignored the market gossip, and kept her visits to the river quick and during crowded times. But even the crowd could not protect her mind. The spirit found its way into her dreams every night. Whispering, grinning, waiting. One night, after another disturbed sleep, Angela woke up sweating. Her body ached, her soul felt bruised. She sat on the edge of her bed and whispered into the air, I'm tired. I can't fight alone anymore. Just then she heard a knock. 3 sharp raps at the door. She looked at the clock. 3:06 a.m. Nobody knocked at that time. Not unless they were ghosts or mad. She grabbed a broomstick and crept to the door. "Who is it?" she whispered. No answer. She opened the door just a crack, ready to slam it shut, but standing there was an old woman in a black dress, with long gray dreadlocks, and eyes too young for her face. "Angela," the woman said. Her voice was deep, almost like thunder. Behind silence. "Called." I answered. Angela stepped back. "I didn't call anyone." "You did." Your soul screamed. "I heard it." The woman walked inside like she owned the place. She sat on the floor and pulled out a small bag made of animal skin. From it she took out black stones, a bone, and a jar of red powder. Angela stared. "Who are you?" "Some call me mad. Others call me mother. But for you, I'll be your weapon." Angela knelt beside her. "Do you know the spirit?" "I know all of them." "This one? From the river? He's older than your grandfather's grandfather. Fed for centuries on girls like you." "Why me?" "Because you're not just a girl. You're his final meal before he transforms into something worse." Angela's skin went cold. "Worse? He'll be able to walk among the living." "Take." Angela clenched her fists. "Then teach me how to stop him." The woman smiled. Her teeth were yellow like candlelight. But power has a price." "What's the price?" "You must visit the river again. Alone. This time, you won't run." Angela felt fear crawling up her throat. But she nodded. "When?" "Tomorrow. At sunset. Take this." She handed Angela a pouch of powder. "Throw it at his chest when he appears. He'll be bound for 5 minutes. That's when you ask your questions." "Questions?" "Every demon has a secret. Find his weakness. If you don't, next time, he will come into your house, and he won't leave." Angela barely slept. The next day crawled by. By sunset, she walked to the river, dressed in red, the pouch tied around her waist. The river was quiet, calm like glass. She stood at the edge and waited. It didn't take long. The water rippled. A soft wind blew. And the spirit rose, taller, darker, more human now. He looked even more handsome than before. He smiled like he missed her. "Angela," he purred. She didn't speak. She threw the powder straight into his chest. It hit him like fire. He screamed, not loud, but deep and shaking like thunder under the earth. His body froze, trembling in place. Angela stepped forward. "What is your name?" He growled, teeth clenched. "I have no name." "You're lying." He laughed through the pain. "Knowing my name won't save you." She took out a small blade the old woman had given her. "Then what will?" His face flickered. His body glitched, like it wasn't made of flesh. "You'll have to kill the one who birthed me." Angela's eyes widened. "Who?" But the 5 minutes ended. The spirit vanished into mist, the wind screamed through the trees, and Angela dropped to her knees. She had her clue now. There was someone else, someone alive, who brought him into this world. This wasn't just a haunting. It was a setup. And someone in her village was hiding a monstrous secret. Angela didn't sleep that night. The spirit's words echoed in her skull, "Kill the one who birthed me." What did that even mean? Spirits don't have mothers. Not in the human way. She paced her room, fists clenched, mind racing. At dawn, she marched to the old woman in black. "He said someone birthed him," Angela said. "Who?" The woman looked up from grinding herbs. "Many spirits are not born in the river. They are summoned." Angela blinked. "Summoned? Like witchcraft?" The old woman nodded. "Worse than that. Someone in your village offered a girl long ago, willingly, for power." Angela felt her stomach twist. "So someone cursed us? Why?" "Jealousy. Power. Control. The usual filth of man." Angela thought hard. Who had influence in the village? Who was old enough to have started this decades ago? Then, a name whispered itself in her mind. Madame Koi. She wasn't actually mad. She was the village midwife. Helped deliver most of the babies in town. Angela remembered her cold hands on her mother's belly years ago. She had a limp, wore red always, and never married. People said she once loved a man who left her. People said many things. But Angela suddenly remembered how Madame Koi Koi always looked at her with sad, tight lips. As if she knew something. Angela stormed through the village. The early morning sun burned above, and chickens scattered as she marched past. She reached Madame Koi Koi's house and banged on the wooden door. The old woman opened slowly. Her hair was gray, eyes sunken but sharp. Angela, to what do I owe this storm? Angela pushed her way in. I know what you did. Madame Koi Koi didn't even flinch. She sighed. So the spirit talks now? Angela froze. You're not surprised. Child, I've been waiting for this day for 22 years. Angela's throat dried. Why? The old woman sat. Her limp more obvious than ever. Because the night you were born, your mother almost died. I had no tools. No help. Nothing. So I prayed, and something answered. Angela's eyes widened. It told me, I will save the girl. But in 22 years, I will come for her. Said yes. What choice did I have? Let your mother die? Let you die. Angela screamed, You gave me to that monster? I delayed his hunger. I made sure he didn't come for you as a child. I thought maybe, just maybe he would forget. Angela wept. He didn't forget. He watched. Every day. He waited. Madame Koi Koi nodded slowly. I'm sorry, Angela. But I can fix it. Angela raised an eyebrow. How? I'll go to the river tonight. Alone. I'll call him. I'll take your place. Angela stared, not knowing whether to feel rage or pity. You expect me to believe you suddenly grew a conscience? No, Madame said. I expect you to watch. Because sacrifice is all I have left. That night, against her better judgment, Angela followed the old woman to the river. Hidden behind a tree, she watched as Madame Koi Koi stepped into the shallow waters. I call you, she shouted, her voice cracking. Come for me, beast. The river trembled. He appeared. Not as a man, but as a shadow. A snake-like creature with a man's grin and dripping fangs. I didn't summon you, he hissed. I made you. The old woman opened her arms. Then take me. Let her go. The spirit laughed. I don't want you. You're old, dry, and weak. I want what I was promised. Her. Angela stepped forward, heart pounding. Then fight me. Both spirit and midwife turned. Angela's eyes glowed red. The old woman in black had prepared her after all. Spells. Protection. Blood magic. The spirit snarled. Angela threw her blade into the river. No more sacrifices. No more fear. The spirit lunged. And the battle began. The spirit lunged like a mad animal, teeth glinting under the moonlight. Angela braced herself, heart pounding like a drum. The air crackled. The trees around the river bent with a wind that wasn't natural. The first strike hit her in the chest. She flew backward, landing hard in the muddy sand. Her ribs screamed. But she didn't give up. She grabbed the gourd the old woman gave her, smashed it on a nearby rock. A thick, red liquid poured out and sizzled as it touched the earth. The spirit hissed, retreating. I see the old hag taught you tricks, it spat. Angela stood up slowly, her whole body trembling. This ends tonight. No more girls. No more fear. Behind her, Madame Koi Koi fell to her knees, whispering prayers in a language Angela had never heard. The river began to glow an eerie blue, and from it, faces of other victims appeared. Young women. All beautiful. All forgotten. They were not ghosts. They were memories, lingering in the water like bruises that never healed. Angela heard them whisper. And him. Avenge us. The spirit growled and twisted into the shape of a man again. Bare-chested, dark as oil, with red eyes and a tongue like a snake's. You want to fight me, girl? You are nothing. Just a body. Angela laughed bitterly, coughing up blood. Then I'm a body with rage. She threw the powder from the second pouch the woman gave her. It clung to the spirit like acid, burning through its form. It shrieked, voice inhuman. The ground trembled. Angela looked up. The river was rising. Not flooding, rising like a tower, swirling like a tornado. Madame Koi Koi shouted, "Use the blade. Carve his name into the water." Angela grabbed the ritual dagger, her hands shaking. She didn't know the spirit's name. But suddenly, she did. It whispered itself to her, not in words, but in rage. She stepped into the river, the water parting for her like it recognized her fury. She sliced the air with the dagger and screamed, "Black, son of shadows, your time is done." The river erupted. Waves crashed, swallowing the spirit whole. It screamed, a scream so terrible it shook birds from trees miles away. Angela plunged the dagger into the water, twisting it, shouting the name again and again. Azimarak fought. But Angela had already made her peace with death. She would drown him even if it killed her. Just as her knees buckled, the sky opened. A bolt of lightning shot down and struck the river. Everything went white. Then silence. Angela woke up on the riverbank. Mud in her hair. Blood in her mouth. The old woman beside her, eyes closed, unmoving. Madame Koi Koi was gone. Angela crawled to the river. It was calm. No whispers. No faces. Just water. The curse was broken. Back in the village, news spread quickly. No more girls went missing. No more screams in the night. The elders tried to pretend they hadn't known. But Angela didn't care anymore. She had one final thing to do. She gathered the names of every girl who had vanished over the years. She wrote them on a large stone, planted it at the river's edge. Flowers bloomed there. The villagers called it the Wailing Shrine. Some people came to pray. Others came to cry. But Angela came to sit. She never told anyone everything that happened. Some said she went mad. Others called her a witch. But she was just a girl who had seen too much and survived. One day, years later, a little girl came to the river with a bucket. She asked Angela if the stories were true. Angela smiled softly. Some monsters die in fire. Others in silence. This one died because someone finally said no more. The child asked, "Were you scared?" Angela nodded. Terrified. "Would you do it again?" Angela paused. Then said, "Every damn time." The river rippled in the sunlight. But it stayed quiet. For once, it was just water.